Are you getting to the stage in your pet photography journey where you're starting to think about printing your work? And I'm not just talking about printing as small desk prints, I'm talking about printing big on the wall. It's a little bit scary because you might not be sure how big you can go without losing quality. I'm going to show you in this video how you can determine exactly how big you can go without any loss of quality. And then we're going to talk about how much further you can push that size and resample the image to create resolution and create an even bigger print. If this sounds like something that you might like to find out more about, I'll see you over in Photoshop. Hi, my name is Charlotte Reeves. I'm from Unleashed Education and you've tuned into another editing toolbox video where we share one quick tip, trick or technique to help make your pet photography editing life easier. So, as I mentioned, you may be at the stage where you're thinking about printing your work big for the wall, but you're not quite sure how large you can go before you start losing quality. Really quick way to tell. So let's go to image size. Now, depending on whether you've been sort of messing around with these settings before, it might look a little bit different. So this might actually be in pixels or it might be in inches. You actually want to have it in inches because that's the unit of measurement we generally use when we're talking about printing things for the wall. So you want to have that on inches. Your resolution might be at 72 or it might be at 300. It kind of depends on how you export the image from Lightroom or how you get it into Photoshop. If it is at 72, we need to change this to 300. So you'll just have to unclick resample here because at this point we don't want to add any extra resolution. We don't want to resample the image in any way. We just want to work with the existing pixels in the image. So let's untick resample and then change this to 300 because generally 300 is what you'll need to set it out to print. That's generally what most suppliers require as the printing resolution. So this is actually resized to 27 by 18 inches. That's pretty close to a standard 20 by 30 inch piece of wall art. So I know that I can print this image at really high quality resolution without having to resample it at about 20 by 30. Now, if I do want to print this a little bit larger, I'm going to have to change the pixel dimensions. However, because I'm enlarging it, I need to add extra pixels in there. Therefore, I need to resample it. So let's just say I'm going to double it in size. I'm going up to 60 inches wide instead of just under 30. So I'm going to click resample. Now, when you click that, you actually have a few different options here. And these are the different algorithms that Photoshop uses to add the extra pixels or take away pixels if you're reducing. So you don't want to leave it on automatic because you want to have a bit of control about what's going on here. The first three are all for enlargement. Now, Preserve Details 2.0 is generally a pretty good one. So let's just leave it on Preserve Details 2.0. Let's take the noise all the way down to start with. And to make this image bigger, so adding extra pixels to make the physical size bigger, I'm actually just going to highlight that. I'm going to type in 60 inches. Okay, so you'll see the little preview on the left has changed. We can move that off to the side and I can just click anywhere on the image to put that in the preview there. So as you can see, this is what the image will look like after all those pixels have been added in. So at the moment it's on Preserve Details 2.0. So I'm just going to change that to Preserve Details Enlargement. And I actually think the detail gets a little bit sharper with that setting. However, it does look like it adds a little bit of extra noise. So that's where this reduce noise slider comes in. So if we take this up too far, it does smooth out the noise, but I do think that we're going to lose a bit of the definition in the fur detail here, which is not really what we want. So we'll leave it on Preserve Details Enlargement, but I'm going to take Reduce Noise down a little bit as well. We want a nice compromise here. So when I click OK here, Photoshop is going to add all those extra pixels in to make the image physically bigger. So I'm going to be able to print it at 300 dpi at 60 by 40 inches, which is basically twice the size as the native kind of resolution and size files that my camera creates, which is actually pretty good. So I'm just going to click OK here and you'll see this image is just going to get larger. Now I'll zoom into 100% and we'll have a look at the quality. Okay, so this is 100%. So this is where it's important to think about what kind of surface you're printing onto. So generally a more forgiving sort of surface would be canvas. It's a little bit of a rougher surface and it tends to absorb noise and you don't naturally see as much detail in the image. If you are thinking instead about printing on something a bit shinier, a bit reflective, really high quality, something like an acrylic or maybe a metallic, you are going to see more detail. Therefore, you are going to see more noise as well. So that's where it might be important to actually run this image through some noise reduction and some further sharpening to further increase the quality before you actually submit it for printing. This image right here, I've increased the size ×2 and I would quite happily print this onto canvas. If I was going to print it on, say, acrylic, I would probably run it through Topaz Denoise and Topaz Sharpen to really increase that image quality before it goes to print. Now, I know that Topaz does have another plugin called Gigapixel that does resample the image larger. That's going to be the topic of a future video. But for now, hopefully this has given you some good tools to be a little bit more informed about printing your work large for the wall. So as always, if you do have any questions or comments, please post them below and I'll catch you for the next Editing Toolbox video soon. Bye.